Selamat datang di Podcast for You. Berkarya, berbagi, menginspirasi. Halo semuanya, kembali lagi bareng aku Anaura. Nah, di podcast kita kali ini nih agak berbeda nih teman-teman. Karena kita pakai Zoom, karena kita bakal ada dua bintang tamu yang salah satunya itu dari Korea Selatan. Dan salah satunya lagi, teman-teman pastinya udah familiar dong sama guru kita. Langsung saja kita sambut Bu Jamila. Halo Bu Jamila.
Halo Nora.
Gimana Bu kabarnya?
Alhamdulillah baik Nora.
Baik.
Nora apa kabar?
Baik juga. Agak deg-degan karena baru pertama kali juga kan podcast
bener,
yang
bener.
modelnya kayak gini.
Bener Nora.
Nah, tapi Bu, pastinya kan semuanya udah pada familiar ya sama Bu Jamila. Tapi boleh dong Bu, Ibu perkenalan diri lagi buat penonton yang mungkin nanti di luar SMA Negeri 1 Manggar.
Oke. Nama Ibu Jamila Rahmaningsih. Ibu sudah mengajar di SMA Negeri 1 Manggar ini dari tahun 2015 Nora.
Wow.
Ya, mengajar geografi. Nora pernah diajar Ibu
Pernah
ya?
3 tahun kan diajar
3
Ibu.
tahun ya? Oh, ya, alhamdulillah. Berarti Nora udah tahu suka dukanya belajar sama Bu Jamila ya?
Iya.
Ya, itu sih Nora perkenalan dia.
Oke. Nah, jadi teman-teman, tujuan kita ada podcast kali ini tuh adalah karena Bu Jamila itu beberapa waktu yang lalu, tahun lalu ya Bu ya, di bulan Oktober itu dan bulan Agustus dan Oktober pernah melakukan pertukaran guru ya, exchange gitu ke Korea Selatan. Nah, jadi kita mau tanya-tanya dong pastinya ke Bu Jamila.
Boleh Nora, boleh.
Nah, kita mau tanya, nama programnya itu kan KLIC atau Korea E-Learning Improvement Corporation.
Ya, betul Nora.
Itu tuh sebenarnya apa sih Bu?
Oke, jadi KLIC ini itu bentuk kerjasama dalam bidang pendidikan digital gitu. Ini digagas oleh Kementerian Pendidikan Korea Selatan kerjasama dengan Kementerian Pendidikan Indonesia, Kemendikdasmen itu. Nah ini udah berlangsung dari tahun 2021 Naura.
Oh udah.
Ya jadi udah berjalan
tahun,
berapa ya?
5
Dan
tahun
rencananya sih katanya sampai tahun 2027.
Oh jadi nggak selamanya gitu ya, ada waktunya ya?
Bisa jadi kemungkinan diperpanjang. Tapi kontrak awal nih kita sampai 2027. Nah, dari 2021 sampai hari ini tuh udah angkatan keempat. Ibu kemarin angkatan ketiga. Itu kenapa kok udah berapa tahun cuman angkatannya baru ketiga? Karena waktu itu ada Covid kan ya.
Oh iya.
Ya, jadi yang 2021 itu kayak cuman
Kedelay
ada
ya,
jadi cuman ada 2 angkatan dan angkatan ketiga itu ada di tahun 2025.
Oh gitu.
Nah, tahun ini angkatan keempat nih.
Angkatan keempat.
Ya.
Wah menarik banget berarti ya Bu.
Ya menarik banget. Jadi ibaratnya karena Korea tuh kan negara maju Naura. Jadi mereka tuh mengimbaskan karena pendidikannya udah maju ya. Jadi mereka mengimbaskan apa yang ada di negaranya gitu. Dan hebatnya nih. Jadi kementeriannya nih kayak challenge provinsi, masing-masing provinsi yang ada di Korea Selatan tuh untuk mengimbaskan ke negara-negara berkembang khususnya ya.
Oh gitu, berarti selain Indonesia dan negara lainnya juga ya?
Ada bener. Kalau asal Malaysia, terus India, terus ada Afrika juga ada beberapa negara, Filipina di Asia. Nah itu jadi satu provinsi itu dapat jatah satu negara.
Oh gitu.
Ya walaupun nggak semua negara ya, hanya beberapa negara di Asia dan Afrika. Jadi mereka pengimbasan, guru-gurunya ngajarin guru-guru di negara-negara tersebut tuh. Jadi bayangin Nora, guru-guru satu provinsi di sebuah negara Korea Selatan ya, itu ngajarin guru-guru di satu negara gitu. Hebat ya?
Hebat
Jadi,
sih.
Guru satu provinsi tuh kayak apa? Memberikan pembelajaran gitu ya, mengimbaskan ilmunya ke satu negara gitu.
Wah, kemarin Ibu dapatnya di provinsi mana nih Bu?
Ibu dapatnya di provinsi Gangwon.
Gangwon.
Ya.
Nah, oh ya, boleh dong Bu diceritain dulu di awal Ibu tuh tahu dari mana sih awalnya program Klik?
Oke.
Terus gimana nih kayak ya proses pendaftarannya gitu sampai Ibu akhirnya terpilih gitu menjadi salah
gitu
satu
ya.
delegasi.
Itu lagi liburan. Pak Sabar beritahu ada surat dari kementerian gitu ya untuk mengundang sekolah kita gitu ya untuk guru-gurunya belajar pelatihan digital, dan ada memang tulisannya Korea Selatan gitu. Tapi Ibu nggak tahu ini cuman pelatihannya di Indonesia gitu, nggak berpikiran itu ke Korea Selatan gitu. belum inilah ya, belum berani pede gitu kalau itu ke Korea Selatan. Jadinya kami mengirimkan biodata CV gitu, terus kayak ada artikel singkat gitu tentang kita, tentang apa yang udah kita lakukan gitu sebagai guru. Nah itu nanti diambil dari 25 sekolah. Dari 25 sekolah itu udah ada daftarnya sih.
Oh, jadi beruntung banget ya SMA 1 Manggar termasuk di daftarnya.
Bener. Jadi kita tuh ada di radar kementerian gitu sekolah kita nih. Dari banyaknya sekolah gitu ya di Indonesia, hanya 25 sekolah nih yang kena radar untuk ngikutin Klik ini gitu, Naura.
Wah.
Emang beruntung banget sih gitu. Dan akhirnya ya udah, suruh buat ini juga video dalam bahasa Inggris. Nah, akhir itu kita diundang ke Jakarta. Nah, itu untuk onsite training. Jadi training pertama tuh di Jakarta, dan guru-gurunya yang ngajarin tuh dari Korea Selatan.
Oh, jadi mereka
guru-guru
yang dari Korea ke Indonesia dulu.
Ke Indonesia dulu.
Terus nanti tukeran, Bu ya.
Tukeran. Jadi onsite training di Jakarta, mereka datang ke Jakarta, lalu nanti bulan Oktober kitanya yang ke sana. Itu kunjungan termasuk ke sekolah-sekolah di Korea Selatan.
Wah, keren banget ya Bu. Berarti pastinya Ibu dapat banyak manfaat banget dong dari program Klik.
Banyak banget, Naura.
Nah, boleh dong Bu disebutin ya sebaik-baiknya juga nggak apa-apa Bu, manfaat yang Ibu dapat dari Klik.
Pertama, untuk diri sendiri sih ini memang tujuannya untuk meningkatkan keterampilan pembelajaran digital. Mau nggak mau sekarang tuh kan dunia digital, Naura.
Setuju.
Kita apa-apa tuh internet gitu. Siapa sih orang yang hari ini nggak megang HP, dari anak kecil, dari mungkin bahkan balita kali ya, udah pegang HP, gadget gitu ya. Terus sampai orang tua gitu. Nah, kita sebagai seorang guru pun nggak boleh gitu ketinggalan. Mau nggak mau gitu, nggak boleh alergi sama yang namanya pembaruan gitu. Termasuk di bidang pembelajaran digital. Nah, jadi manfaatnya itu buat diri sendiri, ke challenge sih untuk gimana nih biar guru membuat pembelajaran, meng-create pelajaran itu sekreatif mungkin, dan dengan pembelajaran digital gitu tentunya. Itu pertama. Kedua, paling nggak kita bisa sharing gitu. Setelah ikut itu kan memang mau nggak mau kita harus mengimbaskan ya, sharing, berbagi gitu. Alhamdulillah di sekolah udah berbagi ke guru-guru yang lain. Terus di MGMP, Naura atau MGMP?
Tahu, itu nggak tahu kepanjangannya sih Bu, tapi kayak ya perkumpulan, misal MGMP Geografi berarti perkumpulan guru geografi di Belitung.
Bener banget. MGMP itu kan musyawarah guru mata pelajaran. Nah, kita ada misalnya ada sebulan tuh berapa kali pertemuan. Nah, di situ di sharing juga tentang apa yang udah didapetin di Klik dan berbagi gitu. Ketiga, nah ini dia yang penting, Naura.
Bener.
Ini selain kita bisa berbagi ke guru-guru di Indonesia ya, khususnya di Belitung Timur gitu, alhamdulillahnya manfaat dari ikut Klik ini juga bisa kolaborasi dengan guru di Korea Selatan, Naura. Jadi bukan berarti programnya selesai nih kemarin Oktober gitu, ya udah aja. Kita harus bisa apa nih ya, maksudnya tetap kolaborasi. Dan satu, kita hidup sekarang udah di dunia digital, makanya udah gak ada lagi tuh batas geografi, sekat-sekat gitu ya. Dan kolaborasi itu bisa dengan siapa saja, di mana aja gitu, Naura. Nah, termasuk ya udah itu memanfaatkan satu momen ya kolaborasinya kalau bisa lanjut. Nah, ini yang kita akan bahas selanjutnya, Naura.
Iya, benar.
Nah,
jadi teman-teman, Bu Jamila itu tuh tadi kan sempat bilang ya, jadi ada kolaborasi. Ya. Nah, salah satu orang yang diajak untuk kolaborasi bersama Bu Jamila itu adalah merupakan guru yang waktu itu salah satu guru di Korea yang ngajarin guru-guru di Indonesia kan, yang di provinsi Gangwon.
Ya.
Nah, jadi kebetulan beliau juga udah hadir di podcast kita kali ini. Halo Ahrum, halo Miss Ahrum.
Halo.
Oke. Selamat pagi.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo.
How are you, Arum? Miss
I'm
Arum?
good. I'm good. I'm really a little bit nervous, but I'm
Yeah,
good.
Sam.
Sam, it's okay, it's
A little
okay.
bit nervous too.
It's because of this podcast.
Okay. The first podcast.
Ya,
Yeah.
how are you? Apa kabar?
Apa kabar? I'm good. Apa kabar? Can I introduce myself?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yes, I prepare a little bit Indonesian.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Nama saya Yarum. Saya mengajar siswa kelas 6 di sebuah sekolah dasar kecil di Korea. That's right.
Yeah.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Nora, Arum ini lagi memang belajar bahasa Indonesia sekarang
Oh,
ikut
so
kursus.
so I heard from Bu Jamilah that you are currently studying bahasa Indonesia, learning bahasa
Oh
Indonesia.
yeah.
Every weekend?
Every weekend, Wednesday and Saturday, I joined the PIPA program in Indonesia
Indonesia. Yeah.
embassy in Korea. So every Wednesday and Saturday at night, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I have to study. Really, really, really difficult to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's okay.
alright. So sometimes I ask about my question to Jamila.
Oh, so Miss Arum juga nanya pertanyaan ke Bu Jamilah
Iya,
ya?
iya, kadang sering nanya, aduh susah nih belajar ini. Ya semangat Arum. Jadi, menyemangati,
Cheering up.
cheering up you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And today is a special day, so I wear this batik.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Batik.
Where did you get it?
I received this batik as gift from Indonesia when I joined the Click program. Many students and many teacher and how can I say officer gave
Yep.
me as a
Yeah.
gift.
Wah, that looks good on you.
Okay, thank you
Thank
Arum.
Thank you, Arum. So, Miss Arum, are you ready for the podcast?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna start it, right?
Okay.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned that two of you are currently working on a project together. Could you tell us a little about what this the project is about and what inspired you to start it?
Me answer. How
Yeah,
about Camila?
I think Miss Arum can start first and then Bu Jamilah will add the answer.
Okay. In Korea, sixth grader social studies curriculum, kids learn about cultures from all of the world. But I think my students study about this culture, but not only in textbook, not only in schooling internet. So I really want my students to actually hear about this real, real, real person. How can I say? The straight from real friend around the globe. So I have a friend like Jamila. So I asked her, how about joining my project? So she answered, okay. She answered right. So we are gonna start like this project. More?
Thank you.
Oke, so jadi awalnya itu karena murid-muridnya Miss Arum itu
Iya.
juga mau belajar
Iya, benar.
mau belajar tentang budaya yang nggak
Budaya.
cuma di Korea aja
Iya.
tapi di luar. Nah kebetulan ada juga nih kebetulan banget ada kolaborasi dengan Bu Jamila. Nah mungkin Bu Jamila boleh menjelaskan lebih lanjut
Oke.
nih bakal ngapain.
Oke, jadi sebelumnya Arum nih nanya Nora, jadi ibu punya nggak temen di SD gitu, guru SD, karena kan Arum ngajar SD ya. Terus udah lama-lama tuh intinya Arum ya udah aku pengen kolaborasinya sama kamu aja gitu. Terus ibu bilang kan ibu anak SMA, nggak apa-apa nih kalau anak SMA. Sebenarnya kalau dari POV-nya ibu ya, maksudnya nggak masalah kayaknya ngeliat anak-anak semansa bisa nih, mereka pasti seneng banget juga diajak collab sama apa, ini kan hal yang baru ya, pengalaman baru gitu, kenapa enggak gitu. Jadi Oke, ketika Arum bilang nggak apa-apa sama anak SMA, ya ini pengalaman baru sih Naura. Dan tadi ibu bilang kan sekarang ini kolaborasi itu nggak ada batas, lintas batas gitu, mau antar negara gitu, maunya dan kapan gitu, itu bisa saat ini gitu, memungkinkan. Dan kenapa enggak gitu, jadi saling mengenal satu sama lain gitu. Itu sih Naura.
Oke, jadi proyeknya ini tentang apa Bu? Nanti bakal ngapain antara murid-muridnya Miss Arum dan murid-muridnya Bu Jamila?
Oke. Nanti Arum ya mungkin yang ngejelasin karena Arum punya proyeknya. Intinya mengenalkan negara satu sama lain gitu. Arum mengenal dengan siswa-siswanya mengenalkan Korea Selatan. Ibu nanti dengan beberapa murid itu akan mengenalkan Indonesia juga, dari geografisnya, dari budayanya, dan jangan di-spill semua kali ya juga.
Oh iya.
Oke, kalau dari Arum mungkin bisa ditanya.
Okay, Miss Arum, I want to ask you more about the project. So, Miss Jamila, Bu Jamila mentioned that Bu Jamila student will learn South Korea, and then your students will learn Indonesia. But how this project is gonna be like? Maybe what platform are you gonna use? Maybe like Zoom or maybe other platforms, and are you gonna use like game maybe, or what the project will be about?
Game. I will use the Jack and Zoom. So we are gonna post our introducing our culture. So we join the 6 member. Jamila student will join the 6 member, and we are gonna study about each other's culture first, and then we are gonna meet in Zoom system and ask something and introducing our culture too.
Oh, oke, thank you. Jadi teman-teman, murid-muridnya Bu Jamila dan murid-muridnya Miss Arum ini udah dikasih project ya Bu dari sekarang, dan nanti ketemu ya lewat Zoom dan Zap-nya ini.
Bener.
Nanti di bulan Juni dan bakal presentasi gitulah ya Bu ya.
Ini persiapannya sih Naura di bulan Juni nanti, dan eksekusinya insya Allah Agustus atau September. Karena mereka mulai di semester baru bulan Agustus.
Iya, bener. Nah, teman-teman, seperti yang udah teman-teman lihat ya, di sini bukunya itu ada buku Laskar Pelangi dari, ya pastinya udah tahu lah ya dari mana, dari Belitung, dan ada buku Almond ini dari Korea Selatan. So basically, Bu Jamila gave Laskar Pelangi book to Miss Arum, and then yes, that one. Jadi and then Miss Arum gave Korean books. It's called Almond to Bu Jamila. And fun fact guys, so Miss Arum really likes Laskar Pelangi, so we're gonna talk a little bit about Laskar Pelangi and Almond book. Okay. So Miss Arum, so I have a question for you about Laskar Pelangi book. So as a teacher, how did you feel about the teachers and principal in Laskar Pelangi book?
Oh yeah, right. Actually, Jamila asked. First, I got these 2 books from Jamila. Jamila asked Indonesian interpreter. She lived in Korea, so she asked her, "Please deliver it to me." Suddenly, one day I got this one. So I called to Jamila. Oh, who will give me? Will you give to me, present to me? So she said, okay, because this book are based on the Belitung Island where she lived. So I read this two books, a little bit long, but I could read this very easily. The story is so sad and but interesting to me. About it deals with about education. So as you question, I will answer. Reading about the teacher and the principal in this book honestly really touchable to me. I cannot do that like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they never left their student side, not once. That made me stop and take a really honest look at myself as a teacher. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then when I first met Jamila, I was immediately think, oh God, the teacher in
Laskar
Laskar
Pelangi.
Pelangi Bu.
Laskar Pelangi teacher, or like Jamila, I think.
Oh.
Oh, because this book teacher and Jamila has same passion for education and then same genuine care for kids. So I think.
Oh, that's really touching, especially coming from a fellow teacher. Okay, so Miss Arum,
Uh-huh.
did reading Laskar Pelangi change the way you view education or the role of the teacher?
I come to realize that teacher cannot change everything to students, but we can at least show students how to change the way they look at things through education. And along the way, I've also been reminded just how hard it is to be a truly good teacher, like really, genuinely good.
Oh, thank you so much. I really like that part. Mungkin Bu Jamila juga relate kali ya. So dari
Tadi disebut-sebut ya namanya.
Iya, maksudnya Bu Jamila
Jadi malu.
relate juga kalau tadi Miss Arum bilang kalau buku Laskar Pelangi itu ngajarin dia bahwa guru tuh nggak bisa ngubah segalanya, tapi dia bisa nunjukin ke murid gimana sih cara muridnya itu nanti akan mengubah ya atau memperbaiki sistem ini gitu.
Benar.
Karena dari edukasi tadi kan.
Iya, benar.
Benar. Okay, Arum, we're going to the next question. Okay, so which moment in Laskar Pelangi book affected you emotionally the most and why?
I have two things. I have very impressive two things. First one is when Lin Tang has to give up his dream because of his family situation, because his dad died. So that one hit hard. It made me think so much about how much a person's environment shape everything, including their education. And even though education is supposed to be the thing, the breakthrough circumstance, thing that is sometimes just can't, that felt so real and honestly really heartbreaking. A very, very sad scene, first one. And second is good. When Ikar is main character, finally goes back to chasing what he truly wants. Oh, yeah. And he studied in this book. He studied in Bandung. I never been to there, but I asked Camila, did you go to? Have you ever been to Bandung? She studied in Bandung, so I really want. I really want to visit Bandung someday. And there are parts in the book that describe the street I really want to walk. Jalan-jalan.
Jalan-jalan.
In there, in Bandung.
Infant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part was, I agree that part was also heartbreaking indeed. And I see the beautiful connection to the story about your dream to visit Bandung because you read that Ikal study at Bandung. And I really hope that you can visit Bandung someday.
Oh yeah, thank you. I really want.
You
Maybe
will.
in 10 years. In 10 years.
Oh, in 10 years. Yeah. Also don't forget
10
to
years.
visit Belitung. We're gonna greet you in Belitung.
Yeah, sure. Already asked to Jamila. I really wanna Belitung and Bandung and Bogor again.
Bogor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Miss Arum. And then we're gonna move to Bu Jamila to talk about almond book.
Almond book.
Almond book from South Korea.
Okay.
So bakal pakai bahasa Indonesia.
Boleh.
Oke. Jadi Bu Jamila, Nora kan udah baca buku Almond ya, jadi ada ya, udah tahu dong ceritanya gimana.
Oke.
Tapi bagi teman-teman Smoners nih yang belum tahu tentang buku Almond, mungkin boleh dong Bu Jamila ceritain secara garis besarnya aja.
Oke, pertama ya makasih ya buat Arum. Thanks Arum for
Thanks Arum for the book, Miss
the
Arum.
book Almond. Make me crying.
No, really?
Ya. Jadi ini kisah seorang anak ya bernama ibu. Terus lihat contekan. Namanya Yunje.
Right.
Ya, Yunje ini kena dia dari kecil, tepatnya dari bayi. Mungkin dari lahir, dia ini udah divonis kena penyakit Naura yang berkaitan dengan otak. Ada kerusakan otak lah gitu, nggak ada yang nggak berkembang.
Amigdala ya.
Ya, berkaitan dengan bagian otak amigdala. Jadi amigdalanya tuh nggak berkembang, dan amigdala ini salah satunya ada berkaitan dengan emosi gitu. Jadi yang terjadi pada Yunje ini adalah dia nggak tahu emosi itu kayak gimana Nora. Jadi nggak tahu sedih, nggak tahu marah, nggak tahu apa. Itu kan sedih banget ya. Padahal manusia tuh ya di emosi gitu nggak sih? Maksudnya jadi apa ya, kayaknya nggak pernah kepikiran tuh kita nggak mungkin ada manusia yang nggak punya emosi gitu. Nah di buku ini tuh nyeritain itu ternyata ada penyakit yang salah satunya manusia itu nggak punya emosi gitu. Nah jadi kebayang sih perjuangan ibunya gitu ya dalam merawat si Yunje, karena berbeda dengan yang lain kan pasti effort banget ya ibunya dalam mendidiknya, tumbuh kembangnya, gimana caranya itu luar biasa sih perjuangan ibunya gitu, dan dibantu sama neneknya kan. Dan tragisnya lagi ada satu momen yang ada musibah gitu ya. Nora baca part itu ya, itu tuh part yang paling ngaduk-ngaduk ya perasaan emosinya gitu ya. Neneknya meninggal gitu dan ibunya akhirnya sakit gitu ya, sampai bertahun-tahun tuh di rumah sakit gitu ya.
Neneknya meninggal di depan dia.
Bener, dan dia yang nggak punya emosi, dan itu tuh jadi gunjingan netizen gitu. Dia, kenapa nenek kamu meninggal di depan kamu nggak ada emosinya gitu. Orang nggak tahu gitu kalau dia memang nggak ada emosi gitu. Tapi kan orang ya memang karena nggak tahu ya. Intinya, dan dia akhirnya berjuang sendiri ya, ibunya sakit, dan itu keren banget dia dengan keterbatasannya dia akhirnya berjuang gitu dan ketemu Gon sih, itu klimaksnya juga gitu, yang satu sisi itu kutub berbeda banget dengan si Yunje gitu. Yunje ini dengan nggak punya emosi, si Gon ini yang emosinya meletup-meletup gitu, yang emosional banget orangnya, amarah gitu. Dan itu sih Naura spill dikit ya tentang
nanti jadi spoiler.
benernya ceritain. Tapi keren sih, bukunya keren.
Iya benar-benar. Jadi ngajarin kita juga ya Bu ya sebenarnya bukunya.
Bener.
Nah tadi kan berarti dari buku Almond apa sih Bu kira-kira manfaat yang pelajaran deh Bu, pelajaran yang bisa dipetik dari buku Almond.
Pelajarannya pertama, kita sering banget judging kali ya ke orang ya, ngejudge orang tuh, maksudnya kita nggak kenal orang ini terus tiba-tiba kita ngejudge dia gitu. Kita nggak tahu ternyata bisa jadi dia begitu tuh karena ada kekurangan dirinya, entah itu keterbatasan dirinya ya, atau memang ada penyakit gitu yang membuat dia itu agak berbeda gitu. Mungkin bahasa ininya aneh gitu dengan yang lain gitu, kok nggak normal gitu, aneh dengan yang lain. Padahal harusnya ketika kita tahu bisa jadi dia punya penyakit, dan harusnya ada empati kita lah. Oke lah, walaupun misalnya kita nggak ini ya, minimal kita nggak ngejudge gitu, atau paling nggak kita nggak berkata-kata yang nggak semestinya. Paling nggak kalau kita nggak bisa empati, paling nggak kita bisa menjaga lisan kita lah gitu Naura. Jadi memanusiakan manusia lah.
Benar.
Inti akhirnya buku itu ya, memanusiakan manusia.
Okay, so Miss Ahrum, I don't know if Bu Jamila already told you about how she feels about the book, but she said that from Almond book she learned that she learned not to judge other people easily, and also to think before we talk.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. That's right. I also agree because I read the Almond book. I read it and I like it, and I have the same thought about the book with Bu Jamila.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, Arum.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna move to the third session. It's a Q&A with Miss Ahrum. So, jadi pertanyaan ini tuh pertanyaan yang mungkin sering ditanyakan ya sering banyak orang Indonesia yang juga kepikiran gitu tentang
oke.
pertanyaan ini. Jadi ini common questions lah ya.
Oke.
Oke.
Are you ready,
Are you
Arum?
ready, Arum? Miss Arum?
Yeah, right. But
Okay.
it's really big burden to me.
Okay. So the first question is, what are the main challenges of teaching elementary school students in South Korea?
I'm not an experter, and this is just my personal thought, not all teachers, but I represent Korean education situation, so I answer like that, but not all of teachers thought, only me, only my thought. Okay,
Okay, it's okay.
that is very important thing.
yeah, I understand.
This day in Korea, so many biggest challenge teacher face is dealing with very excessive complaint from some parents. The more and more parents expect very little discomfort their children experience in education situation or in school at school, and parents want just to be fixed directly and immediately, and sometimes the demands are over the smallest thing. Here a real example: a student hit another student. So teacher said to in front of class, hitting others is not okay. Don't do that. That was it. Just that was simple. But soon after, his or the student parents called to teacher and said, "Why did you yell at my child? You embarrassed them in front of every classmate. It is it it is that emotional abuse like this. This is actually happening in Korea school right now. But not my
Not yours.
I heard
Disclaimer.
many, oh yes, I heard many news from YouTube or broadcast too. So recently, a well-known Korean celebrity, she is very famous in Korea, and she posted in a YouTube video kind of like this situation. So when you wanna watch that, you guys can. You guys
Yeah.
can.
We want to watch it.
Can watch it. Yes. Oh, look, school where teacher, I think, school is teacher can learn to navigate real life, bumping into others, and handling small frustration, working through conflicts. But when some parents try to shield their child from every single discomfort, so kids and missing out on the experience they actually need to do. And of course, most parents are really wonderful and supportive. Especially my student parents is really nice. So I really want to be clear about it. And this is about a small minority. Uh, anyway, there's big burden to all of teachers, I think, in Korea. How about in English? Like this?
Oh yeah. Thank you for sharing, Miss Arum. So I think that's also an issue that many teachers can probably relate today, right?
Benar.
Yeah. What do you think, Bu Jamila? Menurut Bu Jamila, gimana kan? sekarang itu sebenarnya kan sebenarnya guru itu tuh yang menavigasi ya, ngajarin siswa ya di sekolah, tapi terkadang ada beberapa orang tua yang protes padahal sebenarnya padahal sebenarnya gurunya tuh tidak menyakiti murid tersebut. Dari pandangan Arum ternyata ada juga ya beberapa kasus di Indonesia kan pernah ada kayak gitu juga, dan ternyata juga di Korea Selatan juga ada kayak gitu.
Benar. Tanggapan ya? Iya sih, agak kaget juga ternyata ya itu terjadi juga di Korea Selatan gitu. Literally negara maju gitu ya. Tapi pelajarannya yang dari Arum sampaikan bahwa sebenarnya mau dimanapun gitu ya, dunia pendidikan tuh ternyata hari ini salah satu permasalahannya kayak gitu, Naura. Jadi ya mungkin ini jadi satu sisi ternyata bukan guru Indonesia aja nih ngerasain, dan memang jadi PR bareng bahwa pendidikan itu kan kerjasama juga ya. Ketika orang tua sudah menitipkan anaknya ke sekolah, harusnya sih orang tua percaya kepada guru gitu, dan guru pun seharusnya tidak menyalahgunakan kepercayaan itu. Intinya dari banyak pihak, dua pihak ya, terutama orang tua dan guru tuh gimana caranya, kan pasti niatnya mau baik gitu ya, sama-sama untuk bagaimana anak siswa kalau dari sudut pandang guru, dan anak dari sudut pandang orang tua nih ya ke arah mana sih, pasti tentunya ke arah yang baik gitu. Cuman tapi sih mungkin dari kalau ngeliat presentasinya mungkin sedikit kali ya, Naura. Kalau kita di Indonesia biasanya oknum gitu ya. Untungnya masih oknum ya. Jadi belum masalah yang gimana gitu. Tapi emang harus concern juga sih, masalah kayak gitu harusnya nggak perlu terjadi gitu. Walaupun ada gitu, walaupun masih ada kasusnya.
Benar setuju. Okay, Miss Arum. So the second question is it true that the academic pressure in South Korea is as intense as it portrayed in the drama, like a Korean drama? For example, many high school students study until late at night and come home very late because I watch K-drama and also read Korean comics about like high school students, and yeah, I saw them like coming home very late, almost midnight, and like just studying all day all night. Is it true?
Sure. This is absolutely sure. The drama is actually reflecting the reality. The most Korean high school students study with one goal in mind, getting into university. So, and it is not uncommon for students to be at private academic institute until midnight or even later, almost 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. It is really normal thing. Then they come home just to sleep and wake up and go to school and come back home and sleep and go to school. That's real. And when I was young, when I was a high school student, I did do that. Because I think it is something called, do you know Sunan?
Oh, is it like a SAT in?
Yes, sure. The Korea SAT kind of. Korea National College is entrance exam. Yes, when we go to the university, we take a exam. We call them like Sunan, like Nora said, SAT. So much of students' future comes down to a single exam. So the pressure, all of the students and the parents too, is just really big enormous. The elementary school years are actually pretty relaxed nowadays, a little bit relaxed, but some students start in middle school, I think. And they almost have to go to private academic and study till 10 p.m. And they got very big homework burden. So the drama and webtoon, Korean webtoon, That is the chart.
The reality.
The reality.
Oh yeah, okay. So, well, I think students in Indonesia can also relate to the exam pressure.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was a senior at high school, and I felt the same way. Like coming home from school, and then also study for preparing for the, like, it's called like UTBK. It's like the Sunung in Korea, but I don't I personally don't feel the pressure as much as intense like students in Korea, but other students, especially in big cities, I think might have like a almost similar or closer with the students in Korea about the intense of the exam pressure to entering the university. Yeah, I think that's an issue that many students in Asia especially felt that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Asia,
And Nora is currently waiting for the university's admission result.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. So my admission, my university result will be in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm I'm currently like very nervous about how the result is gonna be. Because if I'm not pass, if they don't accept me, I will have to do another test. So well, I hope I don't have to do another test.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean she
In 2
will
weeks. I will
enter
get the
the
result.
university
2 weeks.
2 weeks
2 weeks.
later?
Later.
Wow, congratulations.
We hope Nora gets the best result.
Yeah, I hope I get the best result.
You can do.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
In Indonesia?
Yeah,
Or-
in Indonesia.
Jakarta? No, no.
In Bandung.
Bandung.
Yeah.
I heard Bandung is educational city.
Yeah. Bandung
so
is one of the
congratulations.
education city. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move to the next question. So in
Yeah.
Indonesia, students are often reminded that learning in English is very important because we live in a globalized era, and English is used as an international language. Does the same thing also happen to students in South Korea?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, of course.
English is international language, as Laura already said. Definitely, we have in Korea, third grade in elementary school, they starts English subject. How about Indonesia?
In Indonesia, it actually depends on the school. For the public school, some school start at first grade or like fourth grade, or there are also like private schools or international schools.
School.
They started at like a kindergarten or maybe with more advanced English than the public school.
Oh, really? Officially?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So it
officially
yeah, so it depends. So it depends from the school.
So early. Officially, Korean students start learning English as a required subject from third grade in elementary school. But in reality, it starts way earlier than that. You said Indonesian kindergarten starts studying English in Korea
Oh yeah,
too.
Indonesia.
Oh.
I'm sorry. For the kindergarten, it depends with the kind of school in Indonesia. For example, if it's like a private or international school,
school.
they will they some of them started at kindergarten, but for public school, they might started at elementary school, maybe at fourth grade, or some of them start at first grade. So it very depends on the school, what kind of the school.
Yeah, right. Korea too. Korea too. Private kindergarten or private international kindergarten start English almost 3 years ago. 3 years, 4 years is possible. Oh, so a lot of children go to English only kindergarten very, very expensive in Korea. And it is really common for kids to start attending English private academy as early as first grade too. So in Korean society, English has become more than just a foreign language. It is kind of seen as a tool for getting good job or uh, a tool of entering good university. So honestly, I think that's pretty similar to how Indonesia view English too, as something essential in this era of globalization. But too early is not good. Too early is not good, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, of course, because English is an international language, so um, South Korea and Indonesia and other countries also learn English. Okay, so the next question is, what are the advantage and disadvantage of the education system in South Korea? And if you could change one aspect of the system, what would it be?
Oh, uh, when thought about this answer, I didn't think well, so I asked GPT. How is Korea
It's
education
okay.
It's okay.
I also.
thank you. GPT suggested to me something, so I choose something. So I read this story about that. So closer Korean students get to their final year of high school, the more education becomes just about exam, almost entirely focused on Korean, English, and math. So we call that 구경수 in Korean. Instead of actually enjoying learning, students find themselves trapped in the cycle of mock exam and grade competition. The competition system is not very, very disadvantaged in Korea education system, I think. And whole system is basically built around getting into a good university, like because of 수능, using the 수능. So college degree has become something people feel like they have to get just to land a good job. So I think some students a little bit pity because they don't feel how can I say that?
Like having
They
fun in learning.
yeah, that is fun, not funny and not funny, and they cannot enjoy the education and study. So there is a little bit pity. That is the really biggest problem in Korea system. And the advantage is, I think, when I read this book,
Oh, Laskar Pelangi book.
Charles Pelangi, when I read this book, I feel our Korea education system is a little bit fair.
Yeah.
But in this book situation, at that time, education situation is not fair. Depend on the how can I say financial problem. So I think Korean education system a little bit fair. I think. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay.
It's
So
okay.
yeah, because the Laskar Pelangi book is set was on like 19 yeah 1980s. So yeah, not all schools.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, before that. Yeah, yeah. I also agree that the what you think in Laskar Pelangi book that the education is not fair because
Yeah.
they couldn't get the facilities and yeah the privilege that the student should get. Yeah. Also, I also can understand why such a competitive system in could make the learning feels stressful instead of enjoyable in South Korea, and also some schools as in Indonesia. Yeah, with like a lot of pressure in exams and a lot of exams. Yeah, so they don't feel like, oh, studying is fun, but studying is stressful.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move to the last questions in this session. So, for people who want to visit South Korea, is it easy to go around using English, or do you really need to speak Korean? Because what I see in my environment, a lot of my friends really love K-drama and K-pop, so they really want to go to Korea, South Korea. Yeah, so they asked me about these questions, like, is it easy to go around using English, or do you really need to speak Korean when they visit South Korea?
I think almost the place when foreigner come like tourist city like Seoul, Busan, Jeju Island, like that. You don't need to use the Korean because many people can speak English not well, but we can communicate each other and uh, we can we can tell you how to go to some place, how to use this bus or metro system. So we can use you don't need to speak Korean, I think. But if you go to very small city, small province, small city, sometimes you cannot communicate well. At that time, you can use the cell phone, pop-up or GPT or application for interpreter. Oh, yeah, that's okay. So you don't need to use Korean in Korea. But if you use Korean, 안녕하세요 or 감사합니다, terima or like that. 얼마예요? How much is it? When you use the Korean, maybe Korean feel more hard, comfortable a little bit, and will Korean will do you do more kindly. Kindness. When you use the Korean, and Korean will be kindly to you. I think.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Miss Arum. That's really reassuring for people who want to visit South Korea, that they don't have to be afraid. And also, we have the technology, and technology really seems to make traveling more easier
Tapi sedikit
nowadays.
pengalaman sih Naura, bener ya, kita nggak usah takut gitu ya. Bahasa itu sekarang teknologi itu udah gampang gitu, kita mau apa enggak, tapi bahasa yang paling universal itu mau kita apapun orangnya nggak sama-sama nggak tahu bahasanya, paling nggak senyum itu bahasa yang universal.
Bener.
Terus paling nggak kita tahu bahasa dasar yang biasa digunakan gitu ya. Kalau kayak Arum tuh pasti sering banget ngomong terima kasih. Sama-sama gitu kan, kayak waktu di Korea tuh pokoknya ketemu orang tuh pasti annyeonghaseyo gitu ya, dan kamsahamnida, mereka senang gitu Naura. Bener kata Arum, maksudnya kalau kita baik, orang pun ini baik ya, paling nggak kita tahu bahasa dasarnya itu. Ini satu lagi mungkin tambahan, ketika misalnya ada yang mencap misalnya Korea Selatan itu kan rasis sebenarnya gitu ya, misalnya ada stereotip seperti itu gitu. Mungkin nggak selalu kali ya, kita lagi-lagi bicara oknum gitu. Ibu kayaknya pernah ini deh, Naura pernah ngomong di kelas gitu ya, kan pada nanya tuh ya, salah satunya itu ya, bener-bener. Salah satunya itu ya ibu bilang dimanapun negara tuh pasti ada orang baik, ada orang jahat gitu. Nah kita nggak tahu ketemunya pas di mana ya, jadi tapi kadang kan secara general. Tapi pas di sana alhamdulillah sih Naura, itu malah ditegur gitu ya ketika, dan biasanya ibu kalau ketemu orang yang lebih tua gitu, lebih senior ya, maksudnya lebih di atas ibu umurnya, pasti ibu nyapa duluan gitu. Di lift itu ketemu sama suami istri gitu ya, ketika di hotel tuh, itu pun bukan di Seoul, di Sokcho, di kota kecilnya gitu ya, waktu kita di hotelnya di lift itu ibu sendiri dan ada pasangan suami istri gitu, mungkin umur 50 atau 60 gitu ya. Nah, ibu annyeonghaseyo dan mereka bertanya gitu, where are you from gitu, dari mana. Jadi berlanjut gitu. Padahal cuma niatnya nyapa pakai annyeonghaseyo, satu kata itu yang kita tahu. Artinya nanya dari mana, terus mereka juga ngituin apa. Jadinya malah ngobrol sih malah ini gitu. Terus begitupun di tempat wisata waktu itu di Istana Gyeongbokgung Palace, Arum. Gyeongbokgung Palace.
경복 Palace.
Ya, itu juga ada tiba-tiba suami istri tuh nyamperin pas kita kan pakai hanbok tuh.
Oh iya.
Arum gitu. Dan tapi kan ini wajahnya wajah Asia kali ya, dengar nah itu satu lagi. Banyak banget, mungkin karena hijab kali ya, jadi mereka tuh udah, oh ini orang Indonesia nih, udah tahu, mungkin salah satunya dari hijab nih, ini juga yang pembeda gitu ya. Jadi dari Indonesia ya, pakai bahasa Inggris tuh, ya akhirnya jadi cerita gitu. Sebenarnya sih ya itu lagi-lagi ya, kalau ada istilah rasis dan apa sebagainya tergantung gitu, maksudnya nggak semua orang Korea tuh gitu, pasti ya kita tergantung keturunan kayak gimana. Tapi selama kita ramah gitu, insya Allah juga siapapun orang asing gitu ya juga ramah.
Ya pasti kita harus ramah dimanapun kita berada, apalagi kalau di tempat lain ya kita harus kasih kesan yang baik.
Benar. Dan alhamdulillah kesan orang Indonesia di mata orang Korea masih baik kok.
harus baik.
Harus baik ya.
Okay. So Bu Jamila and Miss Ahrom, we're gonna move to the last session. So so I heard that you are currently working on a book. So could you tell us a bit about what your book is about?
I'm sorry about that. This is not real book, but it is more of collection of our experience about, in my case, in Indonesia, and Jamila case in experience of in Korea. Korea. So, I share my experience and feeling from in Indonesia, right? Oh. It's something I think it is really special, both of us.
Okay,
Right?
so basically the book is about your experience and Miss Ahrom experience in Clicks program, right? Oke, Bu Jamila ada yang mau ditambahin? Nanti di bukunya mungkin ada apa lagi?
Nanti kalau spillnya kebanyakan nggak seru.
Oh iya, bener.
Intinya itu nyeritain sih pengalaman. Jadi Arum ketika di Indonesia pengalamannya, POV Arum tentang Indonesia tuh apa? Terus POV Ibu tentang Korea Selatan tuh apa? Ada di buku itu.
Ada di buku itu. Okay. Well, I think your book is gonna be very special project work on together. It's because it's beautiful that the book captures moments, memories from both perspective, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The next question is, what made you decide to write this book?
When I find out that Jamila actually writing is really good. She is really good at writing, I think. Or maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, she sent her Hanjun, right?
What?
Hanjun?
Pantun. Okay. Pantun.
Hers. I read her Pantun. Oh, she is really good at writing. I was just so inspired by her. So I think if I do writing with Jamila, it's okay. Because she is really good. Understand what I'm saying? So I just college to actually express my thoughts and my memory and my experience. Not good book, just writing something like essay or journal. So that really means a lot to me, I think.
Oh, that's really sweet. Especially I love how this book is started from your friendship and support for each other.
Tapi Naura ini ya, maksudnya enggak sih, Arum berlebihan sih bilangnya.
Tapi Arum memang seperti Miss Arum kayaknya memang ngefans ke
Oh,
Bu,
enggak.
maksudnya tuh kagum ke Bu Jamila.
Enggak lah, kita sama-sama kagum.
Sama-sama kagum ya.
Ini nanti sampai ke Arum ya. Jadi waktu onsite training di Jakarta itu kan ada 4 guru ya, teacher Korea. Nah, Arum tuh yang paling bersemangat, yang paling apa ya, dan paling melo. Jadi kalau deket-deket perpisahan nih nangis gitu, ada video apa dia nangis. Jadi yang paling apa sih, paling ini orangnya
Paling ekspresif.
ekspresif, terus paling tersentuh juga gitu. Berapa kali Arum nangis tanya?
Gitu.
Silakan di explore.
Okay, so Miss Arum, Bu Jamila told me that during the on-site training in Jakarta, there was 4 teachers from South Korea, and she said that you are the most excited and most expressive teacher because she
Oh,
said
really?
you
Thank you.
like you not always but like a lot of crying when it gets to the goodbye because you
Farewell.
yeah for the farewell.
Arum
Maybe-
melankolis.
not melancholy. Maybe Thursday. We met Monday to Friday, and Thursday afternoon program. At the time, Thursday afternoon program will be start. Almost will be start, but I think I'm not sure. But anyway, like play program teacher like Camila and another teacher
Ya.
prepare some stuff and on table.
Ya.
Oh, what's those were gifts for us. I saw that. I cried. Oh, we are gonna, how can I say? We are gonna be goodbye. Oh, so I cried. And after that farewell ceremony, I cried almost
Oh, so
at
sad.
that time. Yes, I really sad. I'm not sure why I cry like that. I don't know, but I really sad. I'm sad.
Arum,
I was sad. Yes.
did you remember the last moment on the bus?
On the bus, yeah, sure. I remember that.
Oh yeah, what
you
what
said
happened
you-
in the bus?
Jadi terakhir tuh perpisahan di Arum tuh pas di Korea justru di bus gitu, karena kan kita mau dari Gangwon itu, dari provinsi Gangwon kita kan ke Seoul. Ada agenda di sana kan, dan kita langsung balik ke Jakarta, jadi nggak ketemu Arum lagi. Ketemu Arum tuh emang di Gangwon itu lah. Nah, momennya itu memang perpisahannya di bus itu. Dan Arum ngasih, nah ini lupa, hampir. Jadi ketika Arum bilang tadi dapat hadiah gitu ya, itu perahu kater.
Oh, perahu kata.
Arum naik bus kita untuk pamitan dengan yang lain semua gitu ya. Dan di situ Arum tadinya aku nggak bakal nangis kata dia gitu.
Oke.
Akhirnya Melo juga nangis gitu. Pas turun bus pun masih nangis tuh Arum. Pas dada dia nggak berani ngeliat kita, langsung balikin badan. Dan momennya tuh pas hujan juga, jadi emang dapet juga sih feel-nya, kayak ini banget, emang sedih banget situ.
Okay, so about the book, so I'm really curious. Like, is your book available for purchase, and where can people read it or get it?
It's just still a work in progress, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We will publish this book. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But if it is, it would probably be on ebook, maybe
Oh, yeah.
ebook. And I want to also print just a small small number of copies as a shape, keepsake for Jamila and me.
Well, I'm
It's
sure
a
many
kind of
people.
souvenir. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Is this
go ahead.
a kind of souvenir for Jamila and me?
Well, I'm sure many people would love to read it, including me.
You too? Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
I would like to read it someday.
Coming soon, coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Oke, Bu Yamila ada yang mau ditambahkan?
Buku ya? Iya. Thanks Arum for our project. Berarti ya, jadi ya kalau gimana ya nanti belum sih, karena masih proses juga Naura. Jadi belum tahu nanti mau apa dipublish benar-benar buku literary
Kayak gini,
atau ebook, ya nanti ditunggu aja gitu ya, biar surprise juga
Surprise
gitu
juga
ya.
ya.
Oke.
Ya, Nara mau sih bacanya. Mau.
Tapi kalaupun nanti itu yang pasti jadi 2 versi bahasa. Jadi kan Arum nulisin dari POV-nya Arum itu pakai bahasa Korea, nanti Ibu pakai bahasa Indonesia atau
Oh gitu.
Dan kemungkinan apakah ada versi bahasa Inggrisnya, kita tunggu aja nanti.
tunggu ya.
Buat tengah-tengahnya nih, biar misalnya antara bahasa Iya.
Jadi 3 bahasa ya.
Iya, bisa jadi. Tapi yang pasti sih ada 2 bahasa itu.
Okay.
Oke.
So Ahrum, Miss Ahrum, could you describe Indonesia in 3 words?
Oh, really? Exciting future ahead.
Wow,
Okay. It's okay.
that's so good. Okay, can you explain it why?
Yes. Before joining Click, honestly speaking, I knew about Indonesia only Bali. Nasi goreng.
Oh, so sad. Indonesia only Bali.
I'm sorry. Yes. Actually, I didn't know Indonesia is located under India.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Sorry.
it's okay.
It's okay.
Well, we learn together. Now you know, right?
I'm sorry.
You are not geography teacher. You are not geography teacher. It's okay.
I'm sorry. But after click program and after meeting Jamila, such a passionate teacher, people who never lose their smiles, and no matter what, I really believe Indonesia's future is something really exciting to look forward to. Yes, that's all.
Yeah, oh my god. Thank you so much for sharing warm thoughts about Indonesia. Oke, kalau tadi Miss Ahrum udah jelasin Indonesia dalam 3 kata. Nah, sekarang giliran Bu Jamila nih untuk menjelaskan Korea dalam 3 kata, Korea Selatan dalam 3 kata.
3 words for South Korea.
Sure.
Innovative.
Okay.
Innovative.
Okay.
1. Innovative. First. Innovative.
Innovative. What's
Discipline. Discipline.
Discipline. I'm not sure what's that.
Apa dong bahasa Inggrisnya disiplin?
Discipline.
Rule.
Follow the rule.
Follow the rule.
Follow the rule. Follow the rule.
Follow the rule. Discipline.
Rule.
No. And 3. Hardworking.
Hardworking. Yes.
And 3. It's you.
Thank you. I'm not anything. Thank you.
Oke, kenapa tuh Bu Jamila mendeskripsikan Korea Selatan dengan 3 kata, yaitu inovatif, disiplin, dan pekerja keras?
Ikut Klik itu berarti Korea negara yang inovasi. Kita lihat juga K-popnya, drakornya, itu kan inovasi mereka gitu. Dan itu yang patut kita contoh gitu, inovasi. Dan di era yang kayak gini, yang seperti ini tuh mau nggak mau kita harus jadi orang yang selalu inovasi dalam hal apapun ya. Termasuk guru, jadi harus jadi guru yang inovatif. Kedua, disiplin. Berasa banget sih Nora ketika dari Jakarta udah berasa gitu ya disiplinnya mereka. Mulai acara dan sebagainya itu mereka bener-bener on time, jam 9 tepat, jam 9 tepat mulai gitu. Nggak ada acara telat
Ngaret,
5 menit,
ngaret.
ngaret, nggak ada. Dan itu kebalikan banget dengan Indonesia kan, yang kita kayaknya udah biasa banget dengan ngaret. Kalau nggak ngaret, nggak Indonesia gitu. Nah itu sebaliknya, orang Korea tuh yang nggak disiplin tuh ya orang Korea gitu maksudnya. Itu berasa banget, dan mau nggak mau pas saat ke Korea lebih berasa tuh, kita mau nggak mau, jadi kebangun banget budaya disiplinnya gitu. Terus ketiga hardworking sih, mereka bener-bener hardworking gitu ya, dan profesionalitas, maksudnya kayak bener-bener apa loyalitasnya gitu ya. Ya hardworking lah, pekerja keras gitu, bener-bener kalau itu tugasnya ya diselesain gitu, bener-bener ini lah. Ya kalau bahasa ininya amanah ya, hardworkingnya ke arah gitu, lebih karena amanah jadi harus mau nggak mau dijalankan gitu sebaiknya. Dan itu perlu kerja keras emang, hardworking.
Wah, seru banget ya teman-teman ngelihat Bu Jamilah dan Miss Ahrum itu saling menggambarkan negara satu sama lain dengan sudut pandang yang positif.
Amin, amin.
Nah,
Harus gitu sih, Naura.
harus gitu.
Harus gitu.
Okay. Well, as we come to an end, do you, for Miss Ahrum, do you have any message or advice you would like to share with our listeners?
Okay. Just like Iqbal or Laskar Pelangi, please never give up on your dreams. To our Indonesian SM
SMA?
SMAN1 Manggarai.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ahrum.
Don't give up.
Did you remember this?
Wait, maybe I can. Can you? See
Oh yeah, stem.
Robo hamster. Hamster. Hamster.
Hamster. Yeah, right.
I have to.
Why?
Door prize.
You got the
Yeah.
You got the gift. The
Yeah,
last
yeah.
day, Thursday on Thursday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually experienced to use it in geography class. It was so exciting using the hamster.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Hamster program.
yeah. So we have
Yeah,
like an Indonesian map. It's a
Yeah.
big Indonesian map, and then we use the remote control from our phone, and then Bu
Yeah, right.
Jamilah will say like, start from Belitung, go to Jakarta, and then go to
Oh.
Papua, and then
Go to Bali.
and then we're just like have like a competition, like who got the who arrived first. But it's so exciting.
Yes.
It was so
When
exciting.
I saw that in Click program, I think, that idea is really wonderful. It's very good.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's very good.
Yes.
Oke, tadi kan kalau kata Miss Ahrum, dia bilang ke murid-murid SMA Negeri 1 Manggar dan ya penonton-penonton buat gak menyerah sama mimpinya. Kita harus ngejar mimpinya kan. Nah, kalau dari Bu Jamilah apa nih pesannya?
Arum bener-bener ngambil dari buku Laskar Pelangi banget ya,
Dia suka
terinspirasi
banget
banget
sama
ya.
Laskar Pelangi.
Ya alhamdulillah ini ya. Apa ibu nih sekarang ya?
Iya.
Sama sih sebenarnya sama Arum gitu ya. Jadi jangan pernah takut bermimpi. Dan Naura, tau nggak terkadang ibu udah nulis sih sebenarnya. Wait, lupa tadi.
Gak apa-apa.
Oke, kegagalan terbesar kita itu sebenarnya
Waktu nggak nyoba ya?
iya bener. Kegagalan terbesar kita adalah ketika gagal untuk mencoba. Jadi belum dicoba aja udah ngerasa gagal. Gitu.
Setuju sih.
Jadi nyambung sama itu tadi
Nyambung.
ya. Jadi jangan nyerah gitu. Maksudnya kita nggak akan tahu. Kalau gagal nggak apa-apa, namanya belajar. Apalagi sebagai siswa ya. Jangan kan sebagai siswa, sebagai guru aja. Kadang ini nggak ya, pasti nggak ya. Ya nggak apa-apa, jalanin aja. Kalau gagal ada masalah ya kita belajar dari itu. Jadi jangan pernah takut buat mencoba. Karena kegagalan terbesar adalah ketika kita gagal untuk mencoba.
Wah, dalam banget ya pesan dari Miss Ahrum and Bu Jamilah. So, Miss Ahrum, Bu Jamilah said that the biggest failure is when we never try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Be challenged.
Yeah, challenge.
Yeah, we have to challenge
we challenge
ourselves.
ourselves.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, Thank you so much, Bu Jamila and Miss
Okay.
Ahrum for joining us today, and it was truly a meaningful conversation. Yeah, we learned a lot, and and we discussed a lot of things, and we will welcome you to Belitung someday, Miss Ahrum.
Amin.
Yeah, I
Oke.
really want to go there. Yes.
Oh ya.
Smoners, terima kasih banyak sudah menonton podcast kita kali ini, dan jangan lupa untuk menonton podcast-podcast kita dan konten-konten lainnya di YouTube dan TikTok SMA Negeri 1 Manggar. Podcast for you, berkarya,
Karya,
berbagi, menginspirasi.
Thank you Arum.
Sama-sama.
Kamsahamnida.
Dora and many steps. Thank you.